Welcome to Voices in Action. Bienvenido a Voces en Acción. Este es un special segment, un segmento especial que vamos a estar dando hoy día. Recuerden, nuestros horarios regulares los lunes a las 2 de la tarde, ¿ok? Y abajo, hagan clic y suscríbanse en nuestro programa para poder ver todos los programas que hemos sacado al aire. Es más, les pido también su apoyo en donaciones y en patrocinios. I ask for your support. With donations and sponsorship, please hit like and subscribe so you can see us on our next editions. Have a good day. Good afternoon again, and I'm talking to you guys from Voces en Acción. And today, like I mentioned before, we're having with us our guest, Mr. John Hernandez. John is a kid from Conroe, born and raised here in Conroe, and he's a business owner as well. And he's running for council position number three. I apologize. Number 3. And he's here with us to share his background, his experience, and everything with us. Buenas tardes, damas y caballeros. Buenos días, donde quiera que estén. Hoy, como le estaba diciendo, tengo con nosotros nuevamente al señor, con el que estuve hablando, perdón, al señor John Hernandez. El señor John Hernandez está con nosotros para compartir su experiencia. Él nació y creció en el área de Conroe y es dueño de negocio, pero esta vez está hablando con nosotros referente a su posición como candidato para la posición número 3 del condado, del consejo de la ciudad de Conroe. John, gracias por estar con nosotros.
Thank you, Jenny, for having me. Would you like for me to interpret myself?
No, whatever is easier. You want me, I can do it in English, I can do it in Spanish, whatever is easier. Some people feel comfortable that I can do the interpretation, but I'll ask a question and you can reply both of them in Spanish and English, so both of the communities will know.
Pues un placer tenerme aquí en tu show, Jenny. Muchas gracias.
Igualmente. He's, for all of us, he's introducing, and he knows you guys know already Spanish. He's going to be going, he's going to do his own interpretation, so he knows the matter. John, the first question that I have, who is John Hernandez and what made you run for this position? ¿Quién es John Hernandez y qué lo hizo correr para la posición de consul?
John Hernandez is a born and raised entrepreneur in the city of Conroe. Soy un empresario nacido y crecido en la ciudad de Conroe. I have 20 years experience in the downtown area where my business is located. Tengo 20 años de experiencia en la ciudad del centro de Conroe, donde tengo mi negocio. I've always been in love with this town, seen it grow and continue to grow. Siempre he estado enamorado de esta ciudad y he visto cómo ha crecido. The 20 years foundation, or should I say 20 years of being in the background, has taught me a lot to do what I'm doing nowadays. Los 20 años de fundación, los 20 años de experiencia que tengo en mi negocio me han enseñado mucho para hacer lo que hoy quiero hacer en día. That's one of the questions I get asked the most. Es la pregunta que más me preguntan. Why City Council? ¿Por qué es concejal de la ciudad de Conroe? Well, it's very simple. Es muy fácil. I am a product of a city council decision back I would say probably 16 years or 15 years ago. Yo soy un producto de una decisión de los concejales de la ciudad de Conroe. Now you were asking me, what is that product? ¿Qué es ese producto? Well, I was roughly 24, 25 years old. Tenía 24, 25 años. I had sacrificed my car that I had purchased, a brand new BMW. Sacrifiqué mi carro, que era un BMW del año, for my first SBA loan, para mi primer préstamo del gobierno, SBA. We had acquired a property from our parents, in which my brother and I ended up paying it in full in 2004 with the help of Mickey Dyson. Adquirimos el terreno de nuestros papás y lo pagamos por completo en el 2004 con la ayuda del abogado Mickey Dyson. And it came to my knowledge that the builder said that we couldn't go on with the construction because there was some issues. Me dijo el constructor que no podíamos construir porque había unos problemas. I was like, well, what's the problem? We own the business. We own the property. We got the loan approved. ¿Cuál es el problema? Le dije yo al constructor. Somos dueños del negocio, somos dueños del terreno y ya tenemos el préstamo aprobado. And he's like, I'm going to have to go to City Hall and talk to the mayor and the councilman. Tengo que ir al City Hall para hablar con el alcalde y los concejales. Well, he didn't give me much explanation. No me dio mucha explicación. So, long story short, the infrastructure wasn't appropriate for my business. Para no hacer la historia larga, la infraestructura no estaba apropiada para el negocio. There was an old Texaco gas station located there, which the tanks were already removed. Era una gasolinera Texaco que los tanques de gas ya estaban removidos. But the water line that fed off from Simonton Road into my location was too small or too narrow. Pero la línea de agua que viene de la principal, de la calle Simonton, a mi localidad en Fraser, estaba muy pequeña. So it was voted at City Hall whether or not we can get the correct amount of water or the line to feed into our building for the new building that we wanted to construct. Entonces le dijimos a los concejales si podíamos tener la línea correcta de agua, las dimensiones para que entre agua apropiada a nuestro negocio. So we were blessed and fortunate that this city blessed us with an approval in which I don't know the exact amount, but I know it had to been up there to feed the correct line water into your business. No sé la cantidad correcta que se gastaron, pero sé que fue una cantidad grande para que nos dieran la línea correcta de agua para nuestro negocio. So that's one of the main reasons. Esa es una de las razones principales. I feel the need, the urge to give back to my city, to give back to my community. Yo siento la necesidad y la urgencia de darle a mi ciudad y a mi comunidad el agradecimiento. For that reason, I'm very thankful for the city of Conroe and whoever that mayor and those councilmen were at that time, because they were able to approve us, and here we are nowadays. Entonces, por la razón que el alcalde y sus concejales nos aprobaron, aquí estoy en día.
Perdóname, John, but you're taking my job away, man. You know how to do this job. I have to laugh about this. It's so good to know that you really care. You went through all this process. Es bien bueno saber que una persona realmente le haya gustado eso y haya pasado por todo el proceso para poder tener tu negocio, tu casa y tus cosas aquí y quieres dar a la comunidad, que eso es lo más importante. La otra pregunta que te tengo, the other question that I have, ¿qué es un city council en el tiempo tuyo como tú lo vistes y ahora como lo ves ahora? What is the city council back then and now? What is the city council now? You know, there's changes, a lot of changes in the city council.
A lot,
and I
muchos.
know, muchos cambios. ¿Y qué es lo que era antes que ahorita puede ser hasta mejor? I think that things that were better back there was good. Now they can get better if we make them better, you know?
Well, the councilmen and the mayors that are involved right now are doing such a great job of running the city. El concejal y el alcalde están haciendo un buen trabajo manejando esta ciudad. I want to be able to grab the baton from them, learn as much as I can, and use that and implement it to the city. Yo quiero agarrar de ellos y aprender y ayudar a mi ciudad. I don't have enough words to explain it's a 180-degree turn that the city has done within the last 8 to 9 to 10 years. La ciudad ha cambiado un 180 grados de lo que era antes, unos 8, 9, 10 años atrás. I want to participate, like I mentioned, and learn as much as I can, because that I do have. I'm a sponge when it comes to learning. Quiero participar y aprender de ellos porque soy una esponja para aprender. Y quiero involucrarme más y participar. I want to be involved and participate more with the city, with the growth, con la ciudad, con el crecimiento. I know that the functions that are going to be occurring now are not the same as a few years back. Yo sé que las funciones que van a ser hoy el concejal no los mismos de años atrás. There's much more development, there's much more growth, hay mucho crecimiento, se están haciendo nuevas colonias, and it's a challenge. It truly is a challenge, but I'm up for the challenge. De verdad es algo que va a ser difícil de hacer, pero lo puedo hacer.
Otra cosa, John, I have noticed too, as a Hispanic woman, you know, I came from a completely different background than yours, but we're similar. I think your mom is Honduran and your father is
Yes.
Salvadorian.
No, Mexican.
Mexican, okay. So sorry, I apologize about that. But we're immigrants, you know, and this city has blessed us with a lot of immigrants, okay? Um, Creo que John, como yo, los dos, tenemos algo en común que nos une. Somos emigrantes. El papá de él es mexicano, la mamá es hondureña, yo soy panameña. Venimos de países del exterior para acá, venimos pequeños. Tú naciste aquí, pero yo vine de 17 años. O sea, yo estaba bien joven cuando me vine para acá. Y he visto cómo los Estados Unidos ha crecido. Y ahora veo cómo está Conroe y Montgomery creciendo. I just want to make sure that our voices are heard. What are your plans for the Hispanic community? ¿Qué es lo que tú quieres hacer para que los pequeños empresarios hispanos tengan ese crecimiento? What are you going to do for the small Hispanic business owners? They need the support from the city. Okay?
So let me clarify on that because I want to be real clear, and I've mentioned this to several people. Quiero aclarar bien claro lo que voy a decir. I'm here for the citizens of Conroe. I have a heritage that I'm so proud of. Yo estoy aquí por los ciudadanos de Conroe y yo tengo una herencia hispana que estoy muy orgulloso. I want to be able to help any minorities or any type of ethnic groups. Cualquier minoría o cualquier tipo de etnia quiero ayudar. How can I do that? ¿Cómo puedo hacer eso? As using it in my life, as a personal experience, what I've lived through with the city, with all the experience I have in knowledge and business. Aportando mi vida, las experiencias y el conocimiento que tengo hoy con la ciudad y con los bancos. So, I want to be clear that I'm not focusing on one group. Quiero aclarar que no estoy enfocándome en un solo grupo. Yes, I'm Hispanic. Sí soy hispano. I'm proud of it. Estoy orgulloso. I come from two immigrant parents. Vengo de dos padres inmigrantes. They both got the residency from Ronald Reagan. Los dos agarraron su residencia del presidente Ronald Reagan. Mi papá se hizo ciudadano americano primero. Después se hizo mi mamá. My father first became a U.S. citizen. Then my mother came along after that. Nacido, crecido aquí, born and raised here. True Texan, tejano verdadero. It's an honor for me to be blessed and born in this small city, which now I see it as a big city. Es un placer y honor nacer en esta ciudad pequeña que hoy en día está grande. And we've came in several news articles. We've came in several articles in the internet. Hemos salido en artículos del internet y en los periódicos. And it just makes me so proud and happy to see Conroe. You know, to see Conroe just expand and grow the way we're going. Me excita mucho saber y feliz que como Conroe, solo el nombre Conroe sale en nuestros periódicos y artículos.
I am so happy to have some, and I'm going to be honest with you, I'm all about unity, and I'm like you. And that's part of Voces en Acción was founded, is to unify every single culture. It's not, I did this as a bilingual show because of that. La razón por la cual se fundó Voces en Acción es para unir a todas las comunidades, la anglo, la americana morena, la blanca, la asiática. We all need to be in the same picture when it comes to Montgomery County, when it comes to Conroe. And that's why I ask you, because it's so good that, you know, one of us is right there in the fight. You know what I mean? I know that Brandon Polk, and I have to say that he's Hispanic as well, but it's so good that you guys, okay, are really caring for the city, but knowing that you're native Conroe man, and you're fighting for this. And you know, I saw you the other day in action when you were in the parade. I was so proud of you, John, and I have to say this because not that many people go out there. You're campaigning in everywhere, and that's something that, you know, you're like me, you're not afraid. We just go, man. Me siento tan orgullosa de ver que nosotros como hispanos y John y todos los muchachos están afuera. Lo vi los otros días en el ¿cómo se llama? La parade.
Desfile,
parada, como le llaman. Y cómo estabas tan entregado a la comunidad. You were just, and you had the people backing you up. That's something that is good. How's your family life? Because I imagine your wife is going everywhere. I imagine your families, like your mom and your dad, are going crazy about this. How's that, affected them? Are they happy about it? Are they supportive? What are the feelings and, the fears? And are you able to have, because you're busy, man, you're running to shops, you're doing everywhere. Do you have that quality time for you? And then after this, are you planning to have that quality time that we all need for our families?
Well, first I want to say that my family is very supportive, very happy. There's never been anybody, both on my mother's side and my father's side, that's ever tried to do what I'm doing nowadays. Mi familia está muy alegre y me está apoyando en todo. No ha habido nadie del lado del sector de mi mamá, de la familia de mi mamá o familia de mi papá, que ha hecho algo como lo que estoy haciendo. I truly feel that that all the support that is given by both my mom, my dad, my brother, and my wife, and my children, is what's making me even go further. Yo siento la verdad que el apoyo de mi mamá, mi papá, mi hermano, mi esposa y mis hijas me hace luchar aún más. It's a beautiful feeling, but at the same time, I could say it's a challenging feeling. Es un sentimiento muy hermoso, pero a la misma vez es un sentimiento de muchas, how would you say challenges?
Te ayuda ¿cómo se llama? A trabajar más, te empuja.
Me empuja a trabajar más.
Te empuja, te exige.
So it does take a lot of time from my children and my family. Sí implica mucho tiempo fuera de mi familia y mis hijas. But this is something that I can also back up by saying that in my business, it's done the same thing. Yo puedo implicar que también mi negocio ha sido lo mismo. 20 years in business, 20 años de negocio, it's easy to say, es muy fácil decir, but there's so many ups and downs, it's a roller coaster. Hay muchas subidas y bajadas que parece una montaña rusa. So what I'm trying to say is that the fact that you have a business doesn't mean that you have the quality and the time to spend with your family as well, because you don't.
Exacto.
El hecho que tú tienes un negocio no quiere decir que vas a pasar más tiempo con tu familia o tus hijos, porque también implica tiempo fuera de tu familia.
Exactamente.
So I can relate to this new position.
Exactly.
As relating to my business. Es relativo el negocio con esta posición. And that's the way I'm taking it. Esa es la manera que yo lo tomo. And that's the way my family's taking it. Es la manera que lo está tomando mi familia. Because everything is hard work. Everything is about sacrifice. Todo es trabajo duro, todo es sacrificio. But hard work always pays off. Pero trabajo duro siempre tiene su recompensa.
John, you know something? That's something that I always thought about me as a human, and I thought about everybody that is watching us, everybody that's listening to us. Todos los pensamos de una manera. Lo que he pensado de mí, lo que está pensando yo en estos momentos, es que todo lo que es sacrificio cuesta, pero a la larga te da fruto. Everything that is a sacrifice is really hard, but in the long run, it will give you a product. It will give you something. John, what about your relationship with the most affected people in our community, our kids and our elderly? Ellos son los que están más afectados. ¿Cómo tú puedes enfocar tu trabajo? ¿Cómo tú vas a ayudar a la comunidad en esos aspectos? Porque sabes que hubieron tantos, there were a lot of issues about, senior citizens being with the flooding and with the stuff at Harvey and all the stuff that have been neglected. Kids that have been neglected. That, like yesterday, I found a family that father is involved and he's only one. Mom is long gone, and he's raising 3 kids by himself, and probably monetarily, and they don't have any papers. I come across with a lot of people calling me, Miss Jenny, is the city going to do something about the people that are needing right now? Are you guys going to try to get the councils to talk about having like opening centers for senior citizens that are bilingual, for them to have activities, open youth centers that, will apply for youth centers? Queremos abrir, le pregunto a él que si hay manera de que se pueda hacer, de que en lo que él esté trabajando, Dios primero en la campaña, pueda agarrar y ayudar para que se abran grupos para adultos, señores jubilados que están con necesidades y puedan llegar a casas o lugares así, o para niños, para jóvenes que están en las calles, que están pasando trabajo, para ayudarlos a crecer como persona, como creciste tú, que tú te pusiste a vender sandía allá afuera. You were selling sandías out there, and you made
Yes.
it happen. So you're an example for a lot of youth. You know what I mean? What are your thoughts about that?
Well, when it comes to budgeting inside the decisions that are made here in City Hall, I'm sure we can raise an awareness of the elderly as well as the infants or the young adults. Cuando se trata de los ancianos y los niños o los jóvenes, yo me seguro que ha de haber fondos para eso. I've yet to know what's going to be appropriated to them. No sé qué va a ser apropiado para ellos. But I'm willing to take the task because I've always respected my elderly. Estoy dispuesto a tomar esa iniciativa porque yo siempre he respetado mis ancianos. Actually, I don't have any more grandparents, in which I dearly love. Ya no tengo mis abuelos que mucho amé. And I've learned so much from them, you know. Their thoughts are not the same thoughts that my parents have, and my thoughts are not like my parents, and my children are not like my parents. La mentalidad que tiene mi abuelo no es como la de mi mamá, la mentalidad que tiene mi mamá y papá no es como la mía, y la mentalidad de mis hijas no es como la mía. So that's where I've always tend to look at the elderly to learn from them. He visto los ancianos como para aprender de ellos, but I also see my children, también veo los niños, they're the ones that are going to be following my footsteps. Ellos van a seguir mis pasos. As well, I know there's underprivileged children out there. We don't even have to go outside of the city. Within our city, I'm sure there's underprivileged children that need our help and support.
Exactly.
Yo sé que ha de haber niños dentro de la ciudad, no hay que salir fuera de la ciudad, que son menos privilegiados y necesitan nuestro apoyo. With that being said, con eso había dicho, I've always tried to learn from the older. He querido aprender de los mayores to give and transfer para dar y transferir esa información to the people coming behind me, para la gente que viene atrás de mí. Ayudar a los mayores, ayudar a los menores. Help the elderly, help the children that are in need, de que están necesitados. I'm willing to take the task to see if there's anything we can do with the budget that the city has, to see if we can do something to help. I know there's an Oscar Johnson Center already coming in effect. Quiero ver si puedo haber fondos para ayudar a los ancianos y los que vienen, la juventud. Pero ahorita yo sé que en efecto está el centro de Oscar Johnson en construcción.
Well, John, I'm just going to leave it to you for your couple of words to the community, because I know you're really going out there for the campaign. What is the message that you want to give us? Le voy a dejar a John el piso ahora en los últimos minutos para que él pueda despedirse y al mismo tiempo dar un poco de su campaña, para que él tiene las puertas abiertas. Él ha tenido las puertas abiertas siempre en esta ciudad. So,
I'm so grateful to be from the city of Conroe, have my business in the city of Conroe. This is not a way or means of advertisement. This is just a way for me to express my gratitude. Estoy muy agradecido por nacer en la ciudad de Conroe, tener mi empresa en la ciudad de Conroe. No es una manera de comercializar mi negocio. Simplemente es una expresión para dar mi gratitud a esta ciudad. I want people to realize that there are true Hispanics out there, that we are living the American dream. Quiero que la gente sepa que hay hispanos verdaderamente viviendo el sueño americano. That truly hard work does pay off. Que realmente trabajar duro tiene su recompensa. It's not easy. No es fácil. I've had many great falls, but I've had many great times that I get up. He tenido grandes caídas, pero he tenido también tiempos de que tengo grandes levantamientos. I want to be able to give my full effect, meaning my body, that I'm at that age that I can still move around quick. My brain is sharp. I can still think really quick. Quiero dar ahorita mi tiempo, que tengo la edad de que mi mente está bien activa, mi cuerpo está bien activo. And I want to use all that to my advantage. Quiero usar todo eso en ventaja. I understand that it's going to be one point in time that I'm not going to be able to move as quick or possibly even think as quick. Yo sé que va a llegar un tiempo que no voy a poder moverme tan rápido ni pensar tan rápido. But until then, pero hasta entonces, as many days and years God wants to give me, pero hasta entonces que Dios me quedan días y años, I'm going to give my 120, 200% if possible to the city, to this town, to this community. Hasta que Dios venga por mí, voy a dar el 120, el 150, el 200% a mi ciudad, a la comunidad, a lo que yo pueda dar al máximo. For more information, I do have a website. Para más información, tengo una red social, jh4conroe.com, JH, el número 4.com. I'm going to repeat that, JH, the number 4, Conroe.com, JH, el número 4, Conroe, CONROE.com.
Muchas gracias, John, por haberte tenido hoy aquí con nosotros. Thank you so much, John, to have you. You know, I usually love to have this type of conversations with everybody that comes to my house. This is your house, John.
Thank you. Gracias.
Regardless of the outcome of your election, you have an opening in my show anytime. You're a friend of the community, and I really do appreciate you for what you do for the community. Gracias a John.
Can I say one more thing before? Puedo decir una cosa más antes de cerrar. There's a reason why my slogan is Together We Build. Hay una razón porque mi frase de mi campaña es Juntos Construimos. Together We Build is something that I've learned from very young age when I started my first business selling watermelons off of First Street. Juntos Construimos fue una cosa que aprendí de mis 12 años cuando empecé a vender sandías, mi primer negocio. That I don't have the capability to do everything. Yo no tengo la capacidad para hacer todos. Pero together, pero juntos, we can do many things. Podemos hacer muchas cosas. Together we can build a better city. We can build a better community. Juntos podemos construir una mejor ciudad, una mejor comunidad. Together it's a word that is stuck with me at a very young age, and I still use it. And now that I'm getting older, I'm using it even more. Es la unidad de estar juntos es una palabra que usé de una edad muy pequeña. Y ahora que estoy en una edad adulta, lo estoy usando aún más. And Jenny, thank you very much for having me on the show. Jenny, muchas gracias por tenerme en tu show.
No, es un placer. It's a pleasure, John. Anytime, like I said, this is your house. I'm your host, and this is your house. Anytime. Amigos, thank you for sharing with us today. John Hernandez for City Council, position number 3 is your choice. Thank you. Bye-bye.